Hello and welcome to Python lesson 6. I'm going to introduce to you a new function called random. Now, before we go on to the random function, let's recap a few important elements that we have learned so far. So, variables that you have learned would be three basic type of variable: a string, integer, and a float. So to declare, you always have the variable name on the left, the value on the right. If it's a string, always remember to have a number, you just write it down. And if it's a float, again, you do not need. There you have a string. So this would be this is a integer variable. This is a float variable. Now, functions, we have seen a few functions. Okay, always remember it comes in a round bracket here. If you have worked on spreadsheets or any other programming language, you would see a very similar kind of code. So what we have learned so far is the print, input, and integer. Print is to display, input is to collect the user input, and integer, so far we have used it to convert the user input from a string to an integer. And here we can see we request the user to input a number, we convert it into a integer and print. Now it won't work if, let's say, I do it this way. Now I'm going to get a user input equals to input number, and I am going to print directly user input multiplied by 2. So when I run my program, okay, I'm going to type 12. If I multiply by 2, I would expect to see the number 24. But in this case, it will not show me 24, but 1212, because my user input is still a string. All they did is they write the string twice. So when I press enter, yep, I get 1212. So to fix this problem, I have to convert it to integer. As you learned from last lesson, there's two ways of doing this. Either you type in the user input and equals to input, or you could actually merge it with the function above to put the input function inside the integer function. So now I run it again. If I type 12, I get 24. Now in your if-else statement, we have comparison. Your if-else, the operators for if and else, that would be Boolean expressions and the symbols that you generate the condition. Now, in random function, there's two things you need to do first. First part is to import a library. Okay, it does not come by default, so we have to inform Python. You have to go into the Python library to import a very specific function into the program, because we are going to use it. And the program that we're going to use is called randint. The randint means random integer. So from random, import randint, and you use your variable num, which would store the random number generated between 1 and 5. So let's give this a try. I'm going to erase this off. So I have import, I need to import first. from random import rand int, then I have number equals to rand int open bracket, the smallest number and the largest number that I want, and I'm going to print. When I run the program, it would print a very random number between 1 and 5. In this case, they give me 3. So this is what it means. It means that you're going to ask Python to get a random, let's say sort of like a book, okay, from the library, but you only need the chapter random integer. Then you ask Python to use this function to generate a number between 1 and 5 and store it in a variable called num, then print out the variable. So today's task, you will import a function from random library, assign a variable between 1 and 10, then ask the user input if, and make the comparison. If the user input is a bigger number, you say you win. If the random number is bigger than the user input, you type computer wins. So last lesson, we have a task to assign a variable called password with the value abc123. We were supposed to get a user input and make a comparison. If it's the same, you say password correct. If it's different, you say password incorrect. So let's give this a try on our online compiler. Are going to have password equals to a string called abc123, and we have user input, which would be input, enter password, then we if user input is same as password, we are going to say print correct. Not incorrect. So let's give this a run. Enter a password. I'm going to write abc123. It tells me password incorrect, okay? Because Python, if you have a string comparison, it is case sensitive. So when we type in anything, especially if we wish to compare, it has to be exactly the same. Now, in task 2, we are supposed to create a two variables, convert them to integer, and then make the comparison to print. So let's have var1 equals to integer input is input converted them both. Now if 1 is bigger than var2, I'm going to print and var2. Else if var2 is bigger than var1, I'm going to say print var2 is bigger than var1. Now, if not, var1 and var2 is the same. So let's give it a run. Let's try both are 12. Number, so yep, var1 and var2 is the same. And let's give it another run. This time we make var1 a small number and var2 a very large number. We'll have var2 is bigger than var1. And again, let's give it a try. This time the first number is very large while the second number is very small, and we see var1 is bigger than var2. Now in the third option, you have to compare three variables, and from the three variables print out the largest of the three. Now it would be easier if you compare it and store it using a fourth variable. So what happened here would be this. I'm going to start with a user input, so I'm going to have var1 is equal to user input number. And I'm going to change it to number 3, and this is going to be the third number. Then I'm going to have the fourth number, which is equals to the first number. So now I know my var4 is the same as var1. So I've removed var1 altogether from the comparison. Now I'm going to compare variable 4 with variable 2. So if variable 4 is smaller than variable 2, okay, if it's smaller, so I know then I'm going to change my variable 4 the value of variable 2. So it's just as good as saying if variable 1 is smaller than variable 2, we could change it to variable 4. So the way it's the same at this point. Now, if variable 4 is smaller than variable 3, we'll say variable 4 is equals to variable 3. Now I'm going to print variable 4 or comma is the largest of the three numbers. So let's give this code a try. First, I have the first number. Let's say I'm going to follow in sequence. I have 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1. So I know the third one would be the largest number. So it's 1, 1, 1. Now, let's give it a try again. This time it's going to be my second number. So it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 is the largest of the three numbers. And now I'm going to run for the third time. I'm going to have 3, 3, 3, and 3, and 3, 3. So 3, 3, 3 is the largest of the three numbers. So this is why I asked to use a fourth variable, because it will be quick and short.